All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Daneil Jacobs barely gets by journeyman Jason Rosario on DAZN. Errol Spence Jr. laughs about it. Jermall Charlo laughs about it. And I promise you, there is somebody named Daneil Rozier sitting somewhere out there that is laughing or crying, whichever emotion hits them, just like Errol and Jermall are. Let's talk about Daneil Jacobs and this Rosario fight in this video. All right, welcome back. So I know that there's going to be some people that do not like this, but I watched the DAZN card last night, and I just actually watched the Jason Rosario and Gabriel Rosado fight because the rest of the card, quite honestly, was just not worth me, spending the time watching. However, watch that fight, and let me tell you that I think that it was the most unprofessional exhibition that I've seen out of several people. One is Daneil Jacobs. That's just unprofessional. Number two, the crew of DAZN and the conversations going on between Chris Mannix and Sergio Moore and them, not completely unprofessional, but you can tell that they know that the time is coming from DAZN because they were showing their entire backside during that commentary, to the point where if I was the producer, I'd have been like, hold on, man, can you guys cut this out and we watch this fight? But let's go through that. And this is a lot to unpack here. And Errol Spence Jr. and more importantly, Jermall Charlo are laughing about the whole thing. Why was Daneil Jacobs unprofessional in my opinion? First, he lost to a journeyman. Daneil Jacobs went into that ring, in my opinion, knowing he was going to win that fight when he walked in that ring. And he fought like that. He fought like he didn't want to engage. He fought like he didn't want to risk anything at all. He fought like he knew if he got through 12 rounds that he was going to win that fight. There is just no excuse for the performance that Daneil Jacobs put on against a guy like Jason Rosario, unless what he did was he just saw that this was the last fight that he had on DAZN, looked at Gabriel Rosado and was like, man, I'm going to slash up Gabriel Rosado's face. He's going to be easy to beat. And he just lost the weight, didn't train, didn't game plan for him, didn't do something, because there's no way that Gabriel Rosado should have looked that good against Daneil Jacobs. It's like Daneil Jacobs had never even watched tape on the man before. I think completely unprofessional performance, man. And what led to it? For me, it's Daneil Rozier. This is the second fight that Daneil Jacobs has had after he got rid of his trainer, Daneil Rozier, who had been with him his entire career. But what happened, and why is Daneil Jacobs separate from Daneil Rozier? Because Daneil Rozier wanted 10% of his purse from Canelo Alvarez. And Daneil Jacobs didn't even call him. I don't think he even told him. He just sent him a check for like $100,000. Like, nah, I'm not giving you 10% of my money. I'll give you $100,000. That is plenty for what you did. While Daneil Jacobs ran off with the other, whatever the 10, what did he get, like 10 million, I think it was? He was supposed to pay Daneil Rozier $1 million. That's 10% of the 10 million that they said he got. But he paid him what? 100,000. What is that? That is 1%, right? Let me do my math right. I suck at math. However, $100,000 out of $100,000 out of 10 million, no. 10% is $1 million. 1% is $100,000, right? Regardless, that is a big ass difference on pay that he cut that dude out of. About $900,000. Why would he do that? Because he was cheap. And he figured that he made it, and he knew that he was now the man. He didn't need Daneil Rozier, and bye-bye Daneil Rozier. So then after that, he takes a fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., which was a joke. And now he takes a fight with Gabriel Rosado, which becomes and looks like a joke. but doesn't have Andre Rozier there for the fight and looks like he didn't game plan at all. As a result, you have guys like Jermall Charlo laughing at him. You got guys like Errol Spence Jr. laughing at him saying, man, dude, what is this? Matter of fact, that's what Errol Spence Jr. said, man, he's like, the hell is this? Like, what are you doing with Gabriel Rosado, dude? You're supposed to go right at Gabriel Rosado and get rid of Gabriel Rosado. Gabriel Rosado, or let me rephrase that. I don't know because I'm not a fighter whether he should have went right at him or not. However, I will say this, that he should have had somebody had a clear game plan, and it didn't look like he had it. It looked like he was just reacting all the time, just looking for the right hand, looking like he was thinking he was going to counter, come over the top with a right hand. But Gabriel Rosado was prepared for everything that Danny Garcia did, that Daneil Jacobs did. It was clear that Gabriel Rosado was better prepared for that fight than Daneil Jacobs was, and that is a result that is on the shoulders of Daneil Jacobs and his trainer. But again, when you fire your lifelong trainer and hire, I don't know if this guy's a yes man or not, but hire a yes man because you think that you've got the skill set, you've made it, that you wind up in a life or death fight. Dude, I thought he lost to Gabriel Rosado. Losing to Gabriel Rosado, you should immediately fire your trainer and you should immediately fire yourself from hiring trainers. You should say, trainer, you're fired because this is not working. Number two, myself, I'm going to fire the part of myself that tells me that I should have fired Andre Rozier and not paid that dude his money. Andre Rozier is the guy that developed Daneil Jacobs from the ground up, I do believe. And since he developed him from the ground up, he would know how to give him the instructions, help him along the way to try to beat a journeyman. A journeyman. See, that's why I can't rock with Daneil Jacobs. I like Daneil Jacobs. He seems like a very, very nice guy. But anybody that does that to somebody that has been with them their whole career, dude, that's why the saying is out there. God don't like ugly. And that is what happened. Daneil Jacobs has now humiliated himself, dude. There ain't nobody going to be asking for Jermall Charlo to fight Daneil Jacobs now. Like, dude, do you deserve the shot? That you really need to be doing Daneil Jacobs is giving Gabriel Rosado a rematch. Because that dude, a lot of people thought he beat you. 115, 113 on two cards, 113, 115 on the other. Dude, that's one round. That's one round from a draw. On one card from a draw. That's flip of 2 rounds. Matter of fact, and if you flip around, dude, you lose. You flip 2 rounds on one card, you lose to Gabriel Rosado. No, man, you don't deserve. Dude, you just took yourself out of top contention from the middleweight division with that performance. Absolutely ridiculous, absolutely terrible. Now, the only thing that I think was worse than that, but we should have expected it, was just the behavior of those analysts on that fight. Man, Sergio Mora, I got so much respect for Sergio Mora, man, because Sergio Mora is literally the only guy on the panel that knows what they're talking about. He's with some guy that's doing the color commentary and Chris Mannix. Chris Mannix don't know jack, and he's completely bought and paid for. But at one point in time, you have Sergio Mora where whoever the commentator was in the last round was saying, Daneil Jacobs, this is the time to attack, to go all the way out and get him out of there. And Sergio Mora is like, man, will you shut up? If he does that, he would be absolutely stupid to sell out all the way in this 12th round because, dude, it only takes one punch to get you out of there. Why would he go running chin first at Gabriel Rosado as a way to save this fight? No, dude. You fight, you win the rest of the round, and you hope that you got enough rounds on the scorecard. You don't jump out there and give Gabriel Rosado your chin and an opportunity to end the fight and lose it. That's silly. At least that's what Sergio Mora was saying. But to listen to these guys seriously, I know you guys could say the same thing about me, right? Like, you're not a fighter. You have your opinions. You share your opinions. That's true. But when I'm sitting next to Derek James and I've interviewed Derek James, or if I've interviewed somebody and I've interviewed other trainers, do you know what I do? I ask the trainers what they think because that's their area of expertise. Yes, I have my opinions about it, but those guys are the experts. And you could see that DAZN staff, both Chris Mannix and whoever the other guy, had almost no respect for the only guy on that panel that really knows what he's talking about in Sergio Mora. So, and even Sergio Mora is out there killing Daneil Jacobs. Like, what are you doing? It was an absolutely terrible evening of boxing. And this weekend, we're going to get an even more terrible weekend of boxing. I'm going to support the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. fight, but let's not get it confused. This whole weekend of boxing is just trash, man. But anyway, you give me your thoughts on what you think happened in the fight, what you think about Errol and Jermall's reaction to it, what I said about it in the comment section. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And with that, I'm out. Peace.